Excuse me. Hi, Professor Natalie McKnight here, and my first strategy that I'm going to discuss is self-regulated strategy development. And what made me choose this what made me choose this strategy, as I was not going to choose it as first, is when I observed the high success rate and as it has been studied over the years and over the decades, and it's still one of the top yielding strategies that's given results to produce successful writers. That's what won me over. And of course, that is always the goal. And self-regulated strategy development, it produces, when properly implemented, successful independent writers that are knowledgeable about the steps and what they are doing. They are conscious and they are applying the steps. And it is a 6-step strategy. And the first one is a familiar one. It is background knowledge, what makes it easy to flow into. This is a strategy that we have studied the last module and I think the module before. And so it will not be the first time our students in our future classrooms will be hearing it, as it is a strategy in other content areas, well, not content areas, in other subjects of language arts and of literacy. So background knowledge, the students will probe themselves of how much background knowledge they know about the topic they will write about. And that will in turn inform them if they need to go back and learn more about their topic, or if they need to change their topic because they don't know much about their topic. The second step of this strategy is discussing. Whichever strategy will be put in place, we will discuss this strategy, which will increase familiarization. This will get a conversation going, which will probe their memory, which will promote cognition, and it'll help them see the significance and the importance of the strategy that they are learning. And usually, when that happens, it draws them in all the more. The next step is to model it. This is definitely familiar because throughout pedagogy, things are modeled by teachers. And so the strategy will be modeled. So the students will be able to see what it is, and they will be able to witness what it is, and which will help promote cognition in their minds of what it is also. The next step is to memorize it, which is key, which is, I believe, is one of the main components of this strategy, because they're doing it independently ultimately. And so if they're going to do it independently, they have to memorize it, because if a step is missed, then that will be a flaw in the final product. But if the steps are memorized, if they are memorized, then they can practice them, but practice them in the order that need to be done to produce the proper flow and the proper result in their writing. The next step is to support it. When it is being supported, it's a bit of maybe scaffolding going on with the teacher and the student. The student gets to writing and the teacher supports that. It is a collaborative effort at this point between the teacher and the student. The student is writing, the teacher is hands-on supporting that student, going through the steps with the student, looking at the work, making corrections and making suggestions. And it is definitely, the main thing is that it is a collaborative effort at this point. And the final one is the independent performance. This is the end result. This is the end goal. And not just getting to that point, but making sure that the student is truly ready for independent practice. When we are successful as teachers of getting students to be independent performers, it is definitely rewarding, but it's definitely a big accomplishment, because students have developed the steps in their mind. They're able to probe themselves. They're able to self-regulate, which is one, well, two of the words within the strategy. When students can go do that, they can apply this also, which is a plus, to any strategy, and it will work. It will be successful. I do know that this need not be rushed through, because when the process is done, when the strategy is done being taught, the key thing is to have stable writers, not just students that we've put through the teachings and we've done our 2 weeks or 3 weeks of this so they're ready. No, students must show and prove that they are truly ready, and that's why that support key is so important, and that's why the memorization is so important of the steps of any strategy that the student is going to use. And with this being done properly, I believe that we will produce solid writers, and it will give them a great firm foundation to start with. I should have got some water, Professor. Excuse me. Um, my second strategy is the text modeling, which in the reading it discussed having a travel brochure, but I know it's not limited to a travel brochure. I've seen other teachers use the back of a recipe box. And so then students had to make their own recipes and they had to mimic that text, and they followed the steps for different kind of writing. And I definitely see myself using this in the classroom. For one, it's fun. To me, it's non-traditional. It's definitely something that I didn't have as a student. I'd had very traditional educational experience, nothing out of the box, nothing fun, for the most part. And so being able to bring in different texts, a cereal box. On the back of the cereal box, they explain the nutrition and how good it is and how it's going to taste and how it may make you feel. And students can create their own cereal box and draw their own picture on the front and describe and actually do the writing on the back of the box, which is integrating content areas. It can be art as well as writing. And so you get the two in one, but I see myself using that. I'm very much into art. I love it. And the cereal boxes could be on display after it. The text can be showcased. It can be more of, I like the idea of a writing fair. We always have science fair, we have history fair, but what about writings where a student can implement and showcase the different products that they produce, because with the text written on the back. I will definitely use that in the classroom, either in combination with Black history, but I like the idea of standalone as a writing project because it will heighten the maybe the awareness and just the expectancy of writing. And it goes beyond a spiral notebook, it goes beyond a Word document, but you can also produce products, something tangible that they can hold besides a piece of paper. And so I will definitely implement that, and I definitely love that idea and that strategy. Oh, excuse me. The last one I will use is providing feedback. And I almost didn't select this one either because I feel like we are going to provide feedback anyway. But using this as a strategy just heightens the feedback that will be given. This does not replace the feedback that will be given anyway, but it's more of a concentrated effort of feedback. And there's two different type of feedback that I have become, excuse me, Professor, that I have become aware of, and it is explicit and implicit. And the explicit feedback is where you say directly what the student needs to do. You're looking at the text, you're showing them this. It is a thorough, I want to say, investigation and instructional piece. And it's not from the textbook, but it's from their text. It's not just proofreading and turning the paperback in, but it is saying, look, this right here, this needs to be changed because of this, that, and it is very thorough. And so almost like teacher and student conferencing is what it reminds me of. Excuse me. Is what it reminds me of, but it will be all about the writing. It will be all about producing the best product, the best writing that the student can give. And the implicit feedback is, to me, more of a suggesting, more of an encouraging, um, adding, let me see, different connotations and characteristics that can be brought into the text to bring it to life more, or to bring more clarity to the topic. It's not so direct, but it's a suggestion that, well, if you add this right here, it may say this. What is it that you're trying to say? And it is definitely more of a considerable option for the student, even though they have to do something about it, but they have more leeway with the implicit um, feedback than the explicit feedback. And those are three top ones that I would use. There are many others that I did like and will use also, but those three I will definitely use within my future classroom. Thank you.